Seems to be working. Right, so I'm going to take you for a walk and let's see how my IRL setup works. Future. I'll to see what's happening. Alright. There's the Kremlin. Park Zaryadia. Just trying to see how this all works. It's my first time doing a live stream that's not been at home, so looks like it's connected, so let's go. Alright, so as you can see, that's the Kremlin. It's a very sort of British kind of weather day today. It was snowing before, but it's been raining since. But spring is coming, I think. Any comments about how the stream looks, quality of the video would be great. Oh, I see a couple comments already, thank you so much. This time streaming live outside, so I have to test everything out. Weather's very bad today, so it's very quiet outside. I mean, obviously it's a working day as well. But it's predicted on the weather forecast that it's going to be a +10 next week. So it's the winter's coming to an end, even though it's been at... Oh, okay, question here. What's that weird clicking sound? I don't know, actually. Thank you for pointing that out. Has it gone? Any feedback about the stream would be amazing. I don't really know what I'm doing with this in real life stream kind of thing. Hey Alex, nice to see you. It's going well, thank you. It's been a pretty warm winter, so which is good for me because I don't like the winter. Okay, thank you so much for the feedback about the clicking. I can imagine that's like incredibly annoying. So I'll try and do my best to work that out. Alright, let's see. I'll put this down somewhere and try and work it out. Oh, you're in Khanty-Mansiysk? That's nice. How's the weather there? Is it just like here? Oh, it's like the rustling of clothes. Really? Huh. I mean, I do have my big coat on, so that's probably why. All right, let's see. I'll pop myself down here for a second. All right. All right, what's up everyone? So I hope the clicking will go. The thing is, I've got a very sort of primitive setup here. I'm just using my phone, and then I'm using just on a really crappy cheap selfie stick that I just had, and then I'm using a portable charger to make sure it stays charged the whole time, and that's all I'm doing. It's very primitive. I do have a very, very good microphone that I've been using for the videos recently. But that's the setup on that's quite hard. So I was thinking as well maybe to record the audio separately and then afterwards upload this whole thing again with a really good audio for people who can't be here live. But yeah, like I said, this is brand new to me. I've not done anything like it before. So any feedback, be honest as possible. If it's really bad, tell me it's really bad and what I can fix, and I'll do my best to try and fix it. All right, you don't look at me anymore. Okay, I'll try and make sure everything's solidly in place so it doesn't click. All right, let's go see Red Square, I guess. Yeah, I think the clicking sound was from the sort of selfie stick I'm using, and if I just hold it in a different way, the clicking stops. Thank you everyone for commenting and helping out, I really appreciate it. Kevin, thank you so much. Being on a big screen, that sounds strange really. I only watch YouTube on my phone. Being on TV, scary. Yeah, the weather here has been strange. So the whole of winter was very mild. And then it started snowing a couple of weeks ago, and you can still see some of it around. But yeah, we're back in around 0, -1 today, which is good for me. I don't like this grey weather either, to be honest with you, but it's better than being absolutely freezing. Can't wait to take this big coat off. So if anyone has any suggestions where you'd like to go or where I can go and walk, I'm open for suggestions. I just thought for my first video here, I wanted to start in the center. In fact, I was a little worried about starting in this part of the city. Because there's lots of jamming of signals and Bluetooth around here, and I wondered if it would affect the signal, but apparently not. So yeah, let's walk over to Red Square and see what's happening. I think the Christmas market is still there. Well, at least it was a week and a bit ago. And down in the square next to it, which is called Manezhnaya Ploshchad, Manezhnaya Square, they have a special thing for Maslenitsa, which is interesting. They had a Christmas tree up there, or a New Year tree, I guess, for Russians. And then after the New Year period, they redecorated the Christmas tree to make it into a Chinese New Year tree. So it had like dragons and snakes, because it's the year of the snake. And then they've changed that tree again into a Maslenitsa tree, which I think I'll walk over there and show you. It's very quiet today, huh? Super quiet. I think I'll go this way. Thank you everyone who's here watching, I really appreciate it. This is my first video of this kind, so any honest feedback, if it's terrible, tell me. I want to make the experience better so I can do more in real life streams in the future. So honesty is very important. Alex says, you look like a Finn. Have you got Finnish roots? No, my roots are incredibly boring. I'm 100% British, very, very far back. There's a bit of Irish in there, of course, but it's a tiny little bit. If I have Finnish roots, it's not for many generations at least. Right, here we are, the #1 tourist attraction in Russia. I can say I've been living here in Moscow for 8 years, and I've never been inside. Maybe I shouldn't admit that. I know it's that kind of thing that when you live in a city, you don't go to any of really the tourist attractions. And in fact, that's one of the reasons I wanted to start making videos again at the start of this year, so I can start going to the stuff that I really haven't been going to over the years I've been living here. Because you know what it's like, you move somewhere and for the first few months or maybe the first year you explore, and then after that you get like, there's one coffee shop you like going to, and there's one pub you like going to, and you just become a local very quickly. So yeah, I can honestly say I've never been inside the cathedral. Although I have been inside the Kremlin. In fact, I've only been here, I went inside the Kremlin once when my parents came to visit me, which was before COVID even, so summer 2019. And tourists can go inside the Kremlin. You have to buy a ticket. And one of the easiest ways to get inside the Kremlin actually is to get a ticket for the ballet, which is what I did. Right, let's some questions. Do I know the history of Maslenitsa? Actually, I'm not sure I do. I did read about it, but that was maybe 8 years ago. If you tell me, I'm sure it will all come back to me very quickly. Another question. What kind of music do you listen to? My music habits change very quickly. So some days I'll like one type of music and the next day I'll like the next type of music. I'm trying to catch up on Russian music at the moment, because I know quite a lot of Russian classic songs. I don't mean classical, I mean like the main classics, the songs that everybody knows. But I'm really far behind on the songs of today, what the youth listen to, like modern songs from this year or last year. So I'm doing my best to catch up on those songs. But yeah, honestly speaking, I don't really like many of them, but they are fun when you're in a bar or a club and they come on. Next question. Oh, yeah, so some of you have been inside here as tourists. Yeah, that's right, tourists do go in. I don't think locals people go in. Another message. I want to travel across Russia, but it seems impossible right now. It's not impossible at all. It's more difficult, definitely. But look here, I'm on the square now, and there's tourists here. Way less than in the summer. But yeah, you see tourists from all over the world, and of course, probably more common all over Russia come here to. But yeah, it's definitely possible to travel. Of course, you need a visa. Well, it depends where you're from in the world. But yeah, travel is definitely possible. In fact, I have a video about it from last year, talking about sort of the realities of traveling here. And basically, there's no direct flights from Western countries, so you might have to go on a bit of a longer route than normal. And of course, you have to get a visa. So there are some difficulties as well with money and things like that. There are difficulties, but once you get over those, it's still just as easy to travel here as before. It's just the initial, the start of things, you know, getting your visa, getting money changed, getting here flights via Istanbul or Dubai or wherever. That's the bit that's a little bit harder than before, but everything else is nice and easy. So this is the Christmas market, which is like closing up, you can see. For some reason it's still open, but there's nobody here. And in fact, a lot of the stalls are already closed. I mean, there's no Christmas vibe right now, obviously. It's rainy and warm. Next question, Kevin Kinsella. How is wheelchair access for any of this? Look, wheelchair access in Russia in general is terrible. It's really not good. Some of the main tourist sites and things like that do have wheelchair access, but I think the main issue will be getting around. In fact, all the new buses, and like all the buses here now are electric. They all have wheelchair access and stuff like that. So things are improving, but it's way behind. I think if you have some help and you go to the main tourist attractions, and wheelchair, being here as a tourist in a wheelchair is possible, but it's just much harder. And honestly speaking, you don't really see many people in wheelchairs in Russia, and a lot of that is just because the access to places is so bad. It's sad. I hope those things change. I do know they are changing in Moscow, but it's slow. Next question. Oh, Kevin, you said don't forget to put up a buy me a coffee or a Patreon. Okay, well, I haven't actually announced it yet, but I am setting up subscriptions on this channel. What I'm going to offer is early access to videos and extra videos for people, just like 2 or 3 minutes just from my day, things I see, interesting things. And that is already open on my channel, so if you want to sign up, you can do that right now. I would really appreciate it, but I've not fully launched it or anything. But it's if you want to send me a donation, like a buy me a coffee, but you want to get something back for it as well, you can do that here on YouTube if you'd like. I'd really appreciate that. But I will add a buy me a coffee page. That makes a lot of sense. I'll do that later. Next question. When you come back to the UK, do you get grilled by MI6? No. I've never had any problems at the British border at all. I have problems at the Russian border. I get grilled, although it was much worse in 2022 than it is today. Nowadays it's you still get questions and stuff like that, but it's not like it used to be. In 2022 it was awful. I waited 6 to 8 hours once to be questioned, and the questioning itself was half an hour, 45 minutes, and it wasn't difficult or anything. It was a lot of very simple, basic questions. What do you do here? Where do you live? Lots of questions. What do your family do? Those kinds of things. But they weren't hard questions. It was just really bad for planning your travel. You have to like think, maybe in the middle of the border I'm gonna have to wait for 6 to 8 hours. It's more of an inconvenience than anything else. But no, in the UK I've never had any problems with British intelligence. I don't think I'm important enough. All right, so we're walking through Red Square down to this on the right coming up here is Nikolska Street, which used to be a very nice tourist destination, and now it's very tacky, in my opinion. They could do a lot to make it a lot nicer. Now it's just lights and people dressed up as Lenin and Stalin or whoever turns up on a specific day. I actually don't see anyone today. It's so quiet. Yeah. So these lights were put up in 2017, Christmas 2017. And as far as I understand, before that they came up and they went down every Christmas. But since then, they've just been kept up the whole time. And during the World Cup, there are so many iconic pictures from this street of people celebrating victories for their countries on the streets of Moscow, including on here, Nikolska. It was really great. So yeah, this is the Christmas market here. It's coming to an end. Hopefully it should be down in a little bit. I've had enough of it. I'm going to walk through here. Another question. What kind of status do you have in Russia? Are you there on a work visa? Yeah, I'm here on a work visa. I'm in the process of getting a residency, but honestly I could have got it years and years and years ago, but I've been very lazy about it. Being here on a work visa is very comfortable for me. I just renew it every year with absolutely zero problems. But yeah, I've considered getting residency, and I've done various steps towards it over the last 4 or 5 years. But yeah, work visa. All right, let's go through here. By the way, another admission, I've never been in here either. I actually don't know anyone who has. I guess lots of foreign tour groups go there. But all of my tourism around Russia has been on my own. I've never like been in a tour group or something. All right. Let's move towards Manezhne Square. So here's Manezhne. It was set up for Maslenitsa over the weekend. You can see in the middle, that's the Christmas tree I was talking about, that was a Christmas tree and then became a Chinese New Year tree and is now a Maslenitsa tree. But it's all been closed, it's all coming down. I don't know if they're going to turn it into something else. But yeah, you see it's all boarded up now, it's coming down. During Christmas, New Year and Chinese New Year, they had, there's not just this square, but attractions all the way up here and then into Revolution Square down here. Alright, where should I go now? I think I'll head up down here. Ooh. Head down here, show you a different part of the city. Thank you all for being here. It's 24 of you. Get away from this construction, or actually destruction, as they take down all these trees from the holiday period. All right, let me read the comments. Let's comment. Do I have a favourite video or board game? Board game, not really. Board games are things I do when I'm with my friends and we're having a few drinks and we're playing. So it's not really about the board game. I would say Risk if I had to choose one. But I used to play that a lot as a kid. I haven't played it much as an adult. Alright, next question. Someone says they remember me playing GeoGuessr. Yeah, that was during COVID, right? I became a little bit of a GeoGuessr addict during COVID, and I was sat at home the whole time. And I was pretty nerdy about it. I was even learning like the Russian car registration plates, like the regions, because even though on GeoGuessr they blur out car registration plates, lots of vans in Russia have it like written on the side, so you could like very quickly tell where you were just based on the code. Is the quality of the video still okay, everyone? I would really appreciate your feedback. First time doing this, so the more feedback the better. Alright, let's go down to Bolshoi Theatre and see what's happening. Alright, next question. Yeah, Kevin, I am using my phone. It's very quick, it's very easy. It's an iPhone. One good thing about the iPhone as well, in particular, I mean, there are lots of pluses and minuses about phones, obviously, but one good thing about the iPhone is the camera has very good, it's very good at nighttime and low light, better than most of the cameras. It's not the best camera in the daytime, but for nighttime it's really good. So I hope when the lights go down I can go for another walk one day. Next question. Did you visit the mausoleum? Yes, I did visit the mausoleum. That was 2019. I don't know what I expected, really. It's basically exactly how you'd expect it would be. Get in a queue, and the queue you stand in is longer than the time you actually see Lenin for. You see Lenin for like 10 seconds basically, and you sort of hurried past him. But the queue can be quite a long time because the opening times for the mausoleum are like very weird. It's like 3 or 4 days a week, and it's only for 2 or 3 hours. It's not like a regular thing. So yeah. Thank you everyone saying the video and audio is good. I really appreciate it. Alright, so we're here opposite the Bolshoi Theatre. That's Parliament over here. It's quite loud at the cars, isn't it? I'll move away from the road, I think. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. If people like this kind of video, I'm going to do more, especially because I'm on a bit of a weight loss kick, and I can get my 10,000 steps in on stream. I could say sort of 2 birds with 1 stone, get my fitness and also do my YouTube channel at the same time. That'd be nice. This is Karl Marx. This is the Metropole Hotel, which if you saw my video about British things in Moscow, it was actually designed, well, partially designed by a British guy, a British architect. All right. Here we are at the Bolshoi Theatre. Alright, next question. Kevin, again, thank you a lot. Would you let me know which YouTuber that is? I sort of, I know who all the, well, not all of it. I know who a lot of the English-speaking YouTubers in Russia are, but I've never met them. I've never done videos with them. Like, I'm not against it in particular, but I really want to avoid this sort of the political stuff that I see a lot of these videos have. If it's just tourism and culture and stuff like that, I'm totally up for like meeting and even doing videos together. But I really don't like the slant that so many of these foreign YouTubers in Russia have, which is saying, no, the West is terrible, Russia is amazing, and all that kind of thing. I don't want to get into that. I see the pros and cons in both the West and Russia, and I'd rather be honest rather than come at anything from a particular political slant. So it depends who the YouTuber is, obviously. Next question. Which city's better, Moscow or St Petersburg? Obviously Moscow for me. I love visiting St Petersburg, especially for like a long weekend. 3 or 4 days, it's perfect. But for living, I much prefer Moscow. I honestly think it's impossible to be bored of life in Moscow. I know Samuel Johnson said it about London. Something like, he who is bored of London is bored of life. I honestly feel the exact same about Moscow. It's an amazing city. It's impossible to be bored here. There's so much to do. I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. But I always tell people, I don't really live in Russia. I live in Moscow. I've traveled all around Russia, and I've seen, I don't know, I've seen more than 50 or 60 different Russian cities, and I love visiting them, but I haven't lived anywhere for any length of time other than Moscow, and my perspective on Russia is therefore very Moscow-centric. Kevin. Oh yeah, I know Sam. I messaged him a while ago. He knows who I am, I know who he is. We've never met in real life though. He doesn't live in Moscow, right? Okay, the next comment, I'm going to read it out loud. I'm a fan of your content and the way you approach Russia, honestly, and without the sometimes risible politics, especially of some of the pro-government expats. Listen, I'm never going to make a video about the government, whether it's for the government or against the government or anything. It's just not my scene. There's plenty of other channels you can go to watch for that kind of thing. It's just, it's not for me. And I'm also not going to say bad things about people on YouTube. They're all doing their own thing. And I respect them. I think the more perspectives we all get on Russia is it's for the better. Unfortunately, views around the world on Russia are so polarized, and I just want to show something a little bit more in the middle of my like honest, true view of things I see every day in Russia. And I've been here for a long time and I absolutely love living here, so obviously overall it's going to be positive, but I'm not just going to say things for the sake of it. I'm going to be honest, and I really hope that I can find an audience of people who appreciate that. Question. On your first YouTube video you did some German content. No, that wasn't really, I won't call that content. When I was in university in London, I did German and Russian. So I was an exchange student in Germany and in Russia when I was 21. So as part of my time in Germany, I did like some stand-up in German, and I also did some I did a poetry slam in German. I just posted that to onto YouTube so I could like show my friends and family back home when I was in Germany that I wasn't just wasting all my days getting drunk non-stop. I was actually being productive and learning a language and stuff like that. I wouldn't call it content. All right. Okay, thanks. Sam's living in Vladimir, is he? I've been to Vladimir, but a long time ago. I also went to Suzdal and lots of other places in Vladimir Oblast, but this was pre-COVID, so it's a long time ago. All right. Well, I'm gonna put down my phone for a second, have a little break. All right, am I still online? All right, I'm gonna read another comment now. I am for Russia in many ways, but I want to live in Moscow. Yeah, that's right. I don't want to. I'm never going to make political videos. That's just not my channel. There's plenty of channels you can watch political videos on. Mine's about real life in Russia, traveling to Russia, what it's like being here in Russia, from a sort of an honest perspective from someone who lives here, without the politics and stuff like that. I know everything in the world is political, so I can't totally avoid it, but I'm never going to start talking about politics. So thank you very much. All right. This is going better than I expected, honestly. I need to rest my hands though. I'm using like a selfie stick. It's a very primitive way to do this kind of thing. I have a gimbal, but I don't want to have to rely on charging two things. So I'm making sure my phone's constantly charged so it doesn't go off. And I've got a gimbal, and I'm trying to make sure that if I have to make sure that that's constantly charged as well, that's going to make things a little bit harder. So I'm just using a selfie stick, a really crappy one, a cheap one, with my phone, portable charger, and that's all I'm using at the moment. I'm also using streaming software instead of direct to YouTube, because YouTube's blocked, and if I use a VPN, that makes the connection slower, so that's not for me either. So next question. No matter how much you run away from politics, it will still catch up and overtake you. Listen, it's true. Everything in the world is politics, especially when it comes to Russia. I get criticised for being political, and I'll get criticised for not being political, so I've chosen to try and not be. All right, let's keep moving. Anyone's got any ideas of where you'd like me to go, what you'd like me to see? All right, next question. There you go. That's a less political question. Do you stand or walk on the metro escalators? I always stand. Always stand. Next question. You're doing a really good job for a new YouTuber. Listen, I'm not really that new. I'm newly serious. I'll put it that way. Over the last maybe 7 or 8 years, I've made videos from Moscow, but it's been very sporadic. Like 1 year I did 30 videos in a year, and then the next year I did like 3. And like everything, it was COVID that sort of stopped me from doing things. So, but now I'm here, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to make a video every week. Since I started again in January, I've done one video every Friday, and I've got my next video already scheduled to go up this Friday, and I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not going to worry too much about the numbers or like the views and stuff like that. I just want to get into a routine, because like I said, over the last 7 or 8 years I've done like, I don't know, less than 100 videos or something like that, which is not a lot. for all that time. Some people do that in 1 year. So if I can continue to do one a week, every week, I'll be very, very happy with that. Next question. Does shared values visa mean any Westerner can come live in Moscow now? Any Westerner could come and live in Moscow anyway. I am not an expert on visas, and the shared values visa does not apply to me because I'm here on a work visa. I'm sure it's helpful. It's another alleyway, another route you can use to move to Russia, but moving to Russia is very, very easy. It's not hard at all. Especially like some drilling going over here. Especially because so much of the so many people employ foreigners here. It's like there's work. People retire here if you've got savings. It's never been hard to come here. Russia's very open to foreigners. The shared values visa, I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work. It's just another route to come move here. But routes existed anyway. Look, I've been here, haven't I? I've been here 7 or 8 years. I know hundreds of other people who've moved here way before shared values visas. My personal opinion about shared values visas is that it's PR. It's good PR. I think lots of people are going to take it up. The government undoubtedly knows what it's doing, the reason for it. But the people who are coming here now with shared values visas, there were other visas they could have used to come here. But this will perhaps make it easier. Especially if you're not coming here to work, I suppose. Yeah, there's a comment about Timmy telling me what the... wait, it's loud. So there's a comment here telling me what the shared values visa is. I know what it is, but I understand that it's like people who decide, it's normally, I don't know, Westerners who decide their values more align with Russia can come apply here to live here without knowledge of Russian language, etc. But I moved here when my Russian was not very good, honestly. And I know people here, I know expats who have lived here for 10 years, 20 years, and the Russian language is still very bad. So there's easily, the shared values visa, I'm sure, will help a lot of people, but I don't know if it's a huge game changer. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if it's a huge game changer. But for people who use it to come live here, fair play. Moscow's an amazing city. I never want to live anywhere else. I love traveling around the world. I love traveling around Russia. I like going home to visit my family. But where I want to live, I would never want to live anywhere else apart from Moscow. It's an amazing city. All right, so we're walking now down Stoleshnikov Pereulok, which is it's very quiet now. But if you come here in the summer, especially at night time, all these restaurants have seating outside. It's a bit of a party area. It's quite nice. Right, and this on the left here as well, by the way, if you're cheap like me, you don't like spending a lot of money on your beer, this is one of the bars in the chain of a type of bar called a Rumachne, which is a place that sells very cheap beer and shots and stuff. I recommend it if you want to get drunk for cheap. So now we're moving towards Tverskaya, the main street down the center of Moscow. That big red building you see ahead of you is the office of the mayor of Moscow. Alright, I'm conscious that if I go towards the road, then the noise will be too loud and not very good for the audio. So I want feedback when I'm next to the road. Like, can you hear me? Is there too much road noise? I'd appreciate that. See all this slush on the floor. I absolutely hate it. I'm sure if you're from a cold country, you know this as well. It's like the snow comes down, it looks so beautiful, and then a few days later it gets a bit hotter and it's all muddy and brown and awful. These are all Christmas decorations that are still up, by the way. I don't know when they'll come down. They should come down relatively soon. There's absolutely no Christmas vibe in the city anymore. It's March and it's warming up and the snow is melting. So Kremlin, and we'll head up this way. And the square opposite the mayor's office always has a Christmas market as well, which is now closed, of course, and it's all starting to come down. Everyone's waiting for the spring mood. Russians all believe that spring starts on March the 1st. So here, walking up to the sky. Maybe I should clean the camera. It's a little bit like cloudy. 1 second. Sorry guys. That looks better, doesn't it? Great. So yeah, we're walking up to Tverskaya now, towards Pushkin Square. Pushkin Square, which is famous for being the home of Russia's first McDonald's, which was the biggest McDonald's in Europe for a very long time, and now it's of course it's Vkusnaya Tochka instead of McDonald's. Pushkinskaya Square is also famous for being the place where there's been lots of protests over the years. Right, I'm not going to go through there, I'll go through here. This building on my right, it feels like it's been under construction for, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years. Which is strange because most of the time in Moscow, construction seems to move very fast. Actually, I talk about Christmas decorations coming down. Those guys walking past me that had the bags and the ladders, they're actually taking them down, so looks like it's actually happening. Now, my knowledge of Moscow is very, very good. I'm not gonna lie. It's very, very good. And I'm mentally now thinking how to plan a route which won't go under any underpasses, so I don't have to risk losing connection. So I think we'll walk down this way, and instead of turning left, we'll just continue, because turning left, it's all underpasses. Yeah. Oh yeah, a comment saying that they're getting ready for 8th of March. That makes perfect sense. I didn't notice that. But yeah, Women's Day coming up on the 8th of March. Make sure you get your flowers booked. In fact, if any of you happen to be in Moscow watching this, or there's a woman in Moscow you'd like to buy flowers from, here's my recommendations. The best flower delivery app is called FlowWow. FLOWWOW, FlowWow. And if you want really cheap flowers, go to Rishka metro station, go to the market there. It's a flower market. It's where all the florists get their flowers from. It's really cheap. Because flowers in Moscow can be pretty expensive. And then, of course, before Women's Day, because basically it's absolutely compulsory that you buy flowers. It's like a tax on men. So of course businesses, they hike up the cost of their flowers. So if you want to save some money, go to the market at Rishka. Thank you very much. Someone watching in Brazil, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Kevin, when you say I'm going in and out, do you mean audio or connection? Alright, I want to check everything's okay. So the connection looks good. So look, my phone battery. Okay. Yeah, my connection looks good. My phone battery looks good. Any feedback would be great. You see, it's a very simple setup. I'm just using an iPhone, and the only internet I'm using, I've got unlimited internet on my SIM card, which is from Tinkoff, which is like, it's not the fastest, but it's unlimited, which is like, obviously makes a world of a difference when you're streaming all this content. And then the audio is just, I'm just speaking directly into my iPhone, which is fine. I don't need a microphone when I'm showing everything from the back of my phone, because I can just get very close to my phone. All right, thank you for the information that the audio and the video was going in and out. Interesting. I wonder why, but as long as it's fine now. How long was it frozen for? All right. I guess that's the risks with IRL streams. You even see some of the world's biggest streamers, when they're streaming outside with amazing equipment, they still have technical difficulties, so I guess there's nothing you can really do about it. All right, this is, by the way, this is the cinema on Pushkin Square. And then I think it's a theatre now, like a musical theatre now. But this is where they host the some of the film premieres for Russian films. Thank you very much for all the feedback. I appreciate it. I want it to get better and better every time. Right, I'm gonna be a tour guide for a few seconds, tell you some facts. So this here is a brand you might recognise, Eurospa. In the UK it's just called Spa. It's a chain of supermarkets. And one of the interesting things about Spa is that it's a Dutch company, but when everything kicked off in February 2022, the company left, and the Russian owner of the company said, we're not closing, we're just keeping the brand the same as normal. And it's actually expanding. It's one of the only Western branded companies in Russia that's not getting smaller. It's actually expanding here. Nikolai, thank you for the information about the internet. So here's what I chose: Tinkoff because well, I got an eSIM very easily, cheap, with unlimited internet. If you have any suggestions of other places I can get an eSIM from without too much problem, that would be great. Especially if I can do it from my phone. Actually, they'll bring it to me, like Tinkoff, because if it's a physical SIM, one they'll bring to me, or if it's an eSIM, one that I don't have to go anywhere. Because it's not necessarily they have to bring me the SIM. Obviously, it's an eSIM. You just download it, but they often need to see your passport and registration, so you might have to go somewhere physical. I really don't want to do that. I'd rather just do it from my own home. And since I used Tinkoff Bank, they already had all my information anyway. So I bought an eSIM and it was sent to me immediately with no need for any extra verification of my documents. Okay, question. Oh, good question, right up my street, from Bob Turner. Hi, Bob. Any buzz in Russia for the Oscar wins for Anora? So, not necessarily about Anora in particular. I mean, Anora's been controversial here, but everyone loves the main actor, Borisov Yura. He's a great actor. He's relatively famous here already. He was in lots of popular movies, and now he's in another movie which actually in the cinema right now about Pushkin. So everyone's over the moon for him. And I don't know, he's the main source of memes and stuff on the internet. Everyone laughing and joking about him. Everyone's very happy for him. But in terms of the movie, it's been quite controversial here. People saying it depicts Russians in a bad way, like politicians and stuff like that. But then all my friends who are Russian who have seen it said they really liked it. So yeah. Next, Konrad. Всем привет. Yeah, hello everybody. Thank you so much everyone for tuning in. This has gone better than I expected, honestly speaking. So I think I will do another one. Yeah, that's right. The comment, no buzz, only memes. Honestly, it's true. People are not like absolutely buzzing for Anora. It's not like a huge film that everyone's gone to see. But there are lots of memes, especially about when he's speaking English in interviews and making jokes about his sort of poor English skills. Although I was quite impressed. I saw another interview with him which was totally in English, and he was a lot better than, his English was a lot better than I imagined. So, but yeah, that's the source of memes at the moment. So I'm going to cross over here. I'm going to head north. You know, one of my favorite things about Moscow is there's so many nice green spaces. But one of the problems is in winter when it's like this, they look kind of depressing. But give it like 3 or 4 months and this will be green and full of flowers. It's really lovely. Green space is of course very important for make a city look nice. Any tips on the best internet in Russia would be great. I'm willing to pay money for it so I can have a reliable, fast internet connection here. One thing I've got on this iPhone, which is the dual SIM. So I'm using now my Tinkoff eSIM because it's unlimited. But I also have a physical MTS SIM. I've been on MTS since I first came to Russia almost a decade ago. Same number and everything. So if internet drops from Tinkoff, it like automatically switches to the other one, which is nice. But as far as I can tell, MTS don't actually offer a truly unlimited service. That I used to have totally unlimited in the past, and now it's like there's a maximum amount of gigabytes, which is fine for like most people's use. You could watch YouTube all day, every day of the month, and you'd be perfectly fine. But when you're streaming, of course, that uploading at least takes a lot of data. Hello, Sergey. Thanks for coming in. Nice to see you all. Really appreciate everyone coming in here for my first stream outside. All the nice comments. Any feedback on quality, audio, video, what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. I really appreciate it. Be honest with me. Be harsh. This is my first time, so it's gonna be crap, but I want to get a lot better. I'd like to do it very often. I might even do one tomorrow, who knows. So this has been going for an hour already. I think I'll go for a little bit more walk and I'll finish it. Maybe another half an hour. Let's see how it goes. Thank you so much everyone for being here. I really appreciate it. Let's check everything's okay with the quality. Any help? Yeah, all the comments have been positive. Thank you very much. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, about Yota, I also used to have them. I used to actually have a Yota modem, you know, those like a portable router, which I used when I was like traveling to make sure I always had good internet, but I've not used them in a very long time. It's been maybe 10 years. All right, some more tour guide stuff for people who are interested. So this is a Israeli restaurant. It's very tasty. It's actually a St Petersburg restaurant, and they expanded here because it got so popular in St Petersburg. And this restaurant here is called La Marée. It's well known as Putin's favorite restaurant. In fact, once upon a time, it used to be a bit of a celebrity spotting restaurant. Not so much anymore, but you do get like Russian officials spotted in there. In fact, I think I'm going to head down that way. Of course, while it's green. Oh, question, what kind of car do I have? I don't drive in Russia. I've never driven in Russia. I have a driving license in the UK. I drove, but I've never had a need to drive in Russia. I mean, I live fairly centrally. I'm close to a metro station. I've never driven in Russia. I think the reason I would get a car here would be if I moved more to the outskirts and I needed a car to travel to places. Or I don't know, if one day I had a family or something. But for me, as like a unmarried guy, no kids, lives in the center, I'm just happy walking everywhere, or getting the metro, or even sometimes the bus. Oh, this weather's not great, is it? Thank you very much to everyone who's commented. I really appreciate you helping guide this video, so I actually have things to say, things to reply to. I'm actually, like I said before, my knowledge of Moscow is very, very good, and I can sort of do a tour guide kind of video with little things I know about Moscow and Russia. But some of the time I always think, maybe that's just something I'm interested in rather than everyone else is interested in. Yeah, Kevin, you're right. I definitely don't need to drive. The public transport here is very, very good. Lots of people have complaints about different things the Moscow government has done. I don't mean the national government, I mean like the local city government. People complain that they should do this or they should do that, but nobody complains about the transport, especially how fast it's all expanding. Every year, 5 to 8 new metro stations, bus routes just getting bigger, more and more of them. It's great. All right, I'm going to cross this road. Is he going to stop for me? Yep. Thank you. All right. So, in the middle of this video, what you can see there is a church, and that's one of those churches in Moscow. There's quite a lot of them which are relatively new, but are built to look old, and it's really great how it stands above the city. Moscow is quite a hilly city, but not really in the center. It's just that one hill there, really. It's nowhere near as hilly as, I don't know, San Francisco or even Kiev. Kiev is very hilly. I remember when I was there, 2018. It's like a workout going for a walk. Here it's not really like that, but there's this hill here, which is really the biggest one in the center, and it's nice that they put a church there. It's a nice landmark. Oh yeah, I see my internet just dropped then. I think I'm back. Can someone confirm that I am back, please? I can see for some reason on my screen that my connection has gotten worse. I don't know why. Right, I'm gonna sit down. All right. Yeah, thank you for people commenting about the internet. It's definitely my fault. I saw on my screen actually that it was frozen, but I don't know why. It looked like it was down for a couple minutes, I think. I'm not sure why, but I guess that's the risk with IRL streaming. You just sometimes the internet goes. I'd like to find a way to improve that. Thank you so much, everyone. I see it went down again. Yeah, it looks like maybe it's the internet in this location. That's a very strange, I don't know why, I'm very central. Right. Okay, thank you for telling me that about the internet and that the quality dropped all the way to 140. Hey Eagle, nice to see you. It's my first live stream in real life. Any tips from you would be great. I'm definitely going to do more. I enjoyed it. You know, I actually go walking around Moscow every day anyway. I love this city, and I know it so well because I'm always going to different areas. Not necessarily the center. I like to get on the metro and just go and walk in different areas. So I think I'm going to be doing that. I think I'm going to be doing that more often. There was a comment before which I saw during the internet mess when someone said that I should keep doing videos that I want to do instead of what the audience wants me to do, and that's very nice of you to say. Thank you, and I do agree, but unfortunately if I want to make this a sort of part-time job, which was sort of what I decided to do this year, because like I said before, it's in 6, 7, 8 years I've only done 100 videos. That's like not gonna make any money to even like fund this being worth it. So if I don't want to become a full-time YouTuber either. This is just something I want to do on the side because I enjoy it and it can help pay my bills, you know. So the idea of doing videos just that I want to do is great, but you also have to do videos that people want to watch. So there's this thing that lots of people on YouTube say is you do one for you and one for them. So I do one video for me and then one video for the audience, and I think that's what I'm gonna go by. And actually, you're right with the comments. It's probably due to lots of the jamming of Bluetooth and GPS and stuff like that. Of course, that's one of the realities of living in Moscow at the moment. If you've ever been in a city that's jamming GPS when you're trying to order a taxi, and you're watching the taxi come to you on the app, and it looks like it's dancing all over the city, you know what that means. All right. So I'm going to take a note for in the future to ignore that street and not go walk down there again. Thank you very much, everyone. So I'll tell you a bit about where I am now. This is Tsvetnoy Boulevard. That's the direction where the Kremlin is. This is the market here, which is nice, especially in the summer when everyone's outside having a good time, partying. And this is one of the boulevards, which is quite depressing, obviously, in the winter. Thank you so much for all the lovely comments and all the tips. I really appreciate it. Like I said before, it's not fully set up yet, but I am setting up memberships on this channel. If you want to sign up, you can do it right now. I'm going to be doing, once it's all like started properly and everything, it will be 2 or 3 extra small videos every week, just from my life here, things I see that I don't want to make a full video about, but I want to talk about. There'll also be early access to all the videos, because in general videos are uploaded to YouTube many days before I actually publish them, so I'll give members the option to watch those immediately, and maybe some other things. It's brand new to me, like I said. All right, I'm gonna switch this around to me. What's up, everyone? Yeah, so I don't come to this neighborhood very often, but it's right next to the metro. So what I do, I like to come here in summer, because in the winter I think it's a little bit of a depressing area. This is one of the areas where when it's sunny and green and all these trees are like full, it's really beautiful, but right now not so much, especially when you're next to the main road. Yeah. So hello all 12 people of you who are watching. I really appreciate you being here live. I expected it just to be 2 or 3 people, especially it's the middle of the working day. I'm thinking my next stream might be in an evening sometime, so it's more optimized for the US time zone. And it'd be nice to see, to show you all what Moscow's like at night at the moment. It's like there's not the amazing nightlife you see in the summer, but stuff's still going on. The best time obviously is Christmas with all the Christmas lights, or in the summer when there's all the partying, but it's still pretty nice too at the moment here in Moscow. So yeah, so I'm gonna call this stream a day. I think 1 hour 20 minutes, not so bad for my first test. I just want to say again, thank you so much for coming. If you have any comments about what I can do better, what I can improve, what you'd like to see, please write them. Be honest, be direct. I won't be offended. I really appreciate it. I want to do this regularly and I don't want it to be bad. So thank you so much, everyone. Please watch my previous video. I've been doing one a week every week since January. That's continuing. There's another video coming on Friday. There's another video coming the Friday after that. It's going to be like that for as long as I can foreseeably plan. So thank you, everyone. Bye.